Okay, so in today's video, what's going on? We're actually going to be making custom background for my brother's turtle. And the reason I didn't mention him in my All My Animals video is because I didn't think he'd be here. My brother takes him to the school that he goes to, and he sits in the agriculture teacher's room. So he's used for education in the school, which is great. So today we're just going to be making a custom background, very similar to how we did Little Chopper's enclosure, which looks phenomenal still, a couple week or so later. And but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. And we're going to be using acrylic paints, and we're going to be sealing that just to make sure it doesn't leach in the water. If fish ever gets put in there, it's going to be completely safe. So we'll do that real quick. Okay, so step one for the enclosure, we got to measure out how big the interior space is, not the exterior, because we don't want it to be too big. So I'm left-handed. So it looks like it is about 23 inches long by about 14 and 3/4 tall. So that's the size of piece we need from the foam board. Same foam board, just scrap that we used for his enclosure. So we'll get it cut up. Okay, so now that we got it kind of marked up, I'm just going to cut it out real quick. Okay, so now we got it cut out. It should fit right there. Yeah, there's a little on each side, which is fine. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it'll fit nicely in there. So then we're going to do the same thing with scuffing it up and making it look kind of like rock. So we'll do that real quick with the drill. So now we're just going to scuff it up with this, try to make it look kind of like real rock. And then I definitely want to leave some flat spots because I have spider wood that I want to put kind of along the enclosure. So we'll mark out some spots for that spider wood. Okay, so if your drill dies like mine, or if you just have, you don't have a bristle attachment, what you can do is just kind of shave down a bit and just kind of pop off little bits like that. It's a little tedious, but it's still going to look pretty nice on the end result. But I need to get this video done as soon as possible, so I don't have time for the drill to charge. So we'll just kind of do this very tedious process, kind of roughly just popping up little chunks here and there, and then I'll kind of shape it how I want later on. Okay, now that we got it all scuffed up, I'm going to mix up that acrylic paint and kind of paint kind of a gray rocky background. But first I'm going to foam in those logs or the spider wood into place so it kind of looks kind of like a root system and a river system. So we'll do that real quick. So I got these spider woods just from the pet store, and before we put them on the background, we're just going to wash them off real quick, make sure they're clean, free of dirt or anything they might have put on them. So we'll do that and then spray foam into the background. Okay, now that the foam kind of is puffed up and cured, I'm just going to start shaving off just the edge of it to get away this glossy surface so that the paint sticks to it real well. And then once that's done, I'll start mixing up the paint color. And after it's all painted, I'll probably do several coats, and then we'll seal it with the polyurethane, which also will probably take several coats. So we'll get started on that now. Okay, as you can see, I got it all cut up and shaved to how I wanted it. And now we're just gonna quickly throw a couple coats of paint on. I'm going for a kind of a rocky gray color, so we'll do that real quick. Okay, that's it so far. We're just gonna mix up some more some more paint. And when you're doing this, make sure that you're getting acrylic paint that is animal safe and pet safe when cured. If it doesn't say on it, then just Google it, and Google should tell you, and the company should say if it is or not. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna go for more gray color, and then later on I might, once this dries, I'm gonna put on a couple coats just to add some dark spots and some highlights. So yeah, I will pick up the camera when it is all finished. Okay, so now that I got all the paint, it all painted up and dried, I let it sit for a couple hours just to really get in there and fully cure so the acrylic paint doesn't like smear or smudge. And then what I did was I just went back over it again with the same gray color to kind of fill in the spots that I missed. And now I'm just going to be mixing up a lighter gray paint over here, and I'm going to be painting that on the background to just give it some highlights and give it some more depth and rocky texture. So we're just going to take a little by little and just take that lighter paint and just kind of brush it on, trying not to get in the cracks, just on the very top where that texture is. And I'll do this probably on the entire one. I might mix up some lighter paint to give it some even brighter highlights, but yeah, I'm just gonna pick the camera back up when that is all done. Okay, now that I got it all done with the highlighting, you can really see like there and there that it just adds so much more depth to the actual rock background. Like I said, I might mix up some more white lighter paint. I might do that just in a few spots like here and on these rocks and whatnot, but yeah, we'll do that real quick. Okay, so we got that white, much lighter colored paint mixed up, and I think I'm just gonna do like the very edges much lighter, but I'm gonna do this for not too much longer because I don't want to be too white. I do like how light it is, especially on camera. But yeah, I don't want to overdo it. That's the thing. But definitely get the edges of all the rocks that are really poking out, and it just gives it so much more texture that you can see. But I think that's looking really good so far. Okay, now I'm going to start the polyurethaning process. I have it right there. So you're going to want to do this outside if you are doing it, because polyurethane has, it's not toxic. It might be toxic. I don't know. I didn't read the directions on the polyurethane, but you're definitely going to want to do it outside. So now I know I have a very small brush here, but it's the only one I could find. And then you're just going to kind of paint it on. You're gonna want to do thick-ish coats. And just get it very well. And then I'm probably gonna do 3 or 4 coats just to make sure it's 100% sealed. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and then once it dries the first time, I'll probably pick the camera back up. Okay, now that several layers have been cured over and over again, put on, what I'm going to do next is just wash it off just with a hose, to make sure all those chemicals or dust and debris gets off of it. So we're going to just spray it off here. Now it's all sprayed down. I'm just going to let it dry here in the sun. And then while that's drying, I'm going to go prepare the turtle tank and clean it up and just make sure it's ready to have this background siliconed in. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is siphoning out the water, just draining it, getting it low, and then I'm going to be completely cleaning the inside of this, taking all the sand and gravel out, washing that out, and then going to be siliconing in the background that we just made. So we'll do that real quick. And if you guys like the videos with like the fish tanks or turtle tanks, let me know, because I'd love to do more stuff like that. So if you like this kind of stuff, just let me know, because I'd love to do more of it. Oh, it's done. I don't know how long it's been done for. I've been making tacos. Okay, now it's done, we are going to start taking all the sand out. To ensure that well, sand needs taken out and washed. So we'll do that right now in the next clip. Okay, now we're just going to get all that nasty sand out of there and hopefully just clean it all out, because it's very nasty. So we'll start just scooping it out. Now that I got the majority out, I think what I'm going to do next is move it onto Reggie's enclosure and tip it on its side, just so it's easier to get the rest out. So we'll do that real quick. Okay, so now we got it moved over here. I can scrape out the rest of the sand and start to actually like really clean it off. Now that we got it sit and put back up, I'm just going to fill it up with a little bit of water, probably a gallon or so, and then get a scrub brush and really just get in there. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's kind of the best I could get it with what I had. So now we're gonna just take a towel right here and just dry it off on the inside, especially getting this back wall, because this back wall, if it has a single drop of water, that silicone is not going to stick as well, and then I really don't want the background falling off. I'm just holding it with my finger, but that's how it looks inside the enclosure. I think it looks really good. And then again, I'm going to wash the sand out and put the sand back in, and I think we have some rocks I could put in for some more decor. And then we have a bunch of dechlorinator and pH balancer and chemicals like that. Well, I guess not chemicals, but just stuff to make sure that the water is nice and safe for Norbert the turtle, and then any fish they want to put in here, like I mentioned previously. Yeah, I think that's going to look pretty cool once it's all filled with water and fully done siliconing to the background. Okay, I just got it set up on the ground, and I'm just going to slide the background into place and silicone it. And then I'm going to probably put some of these rocks on top of it just to make sure it's getting held down, and wait probably a good couple hours for the silicone to at least dry to prop it up. And then in the time it takes to dry, I'll probably wash the sand out and get everything ready for when the silicone fully cures. Then we can fill it up with water and really start to decorate the enclosure. Okay, so now I'm going to take the background here, and I'm going to just kind of score it up like that, just so it sticks a little better to the silicone. So I'm just going to scratch that up real quick and then put it in the tank. I think that's pretty good. Just enough to, where it'll kind of stick and adhere a little more to the silicone. So now I'm going to just silicone all over the background. Just like that, and then I'll spread it out. So I'll do that real quick, and then I'll put it in. Now that it's all spread out, now I'm going to just put it in the tank and weigh it down with some rocks. I just need to find the orientation. I think I'm going to go like that. And then make sure it's a little even on each side, because it doesn't quite reach each side, just because I didn't want it to be too tight of a fit. But now that that is in, I'm going to just silicone all the edges. Yeah, so we'll start with just the back. And this dries clear, so it's not just going to be an ugly white bead along the bottom of it. And then I might as well just do a nice strip along the front. If you like the videos where I do custom backgrounds, I love doing this. I'm definitely going to do more, because I want to redo Maul's enclosure as well as Reggie's enclosure. So if it's something you like, comment, leave a like, subscribe. But it's definitely a long process to do these backgrounds, so I'd appreciate it. So now that it's fully dried, I just set it up against where it's going to be on the stand, and it looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to take the sand and just go outside and wash it out, just putting a hose in and flushing out everything that is like all the fecal matter, the dirt, whatever, just everything that's not supposed to be in here. I'm just going to rinse it with a hose and kind of flush it out. So we'll do that, and then we'll get it back in there. It's going to be a nice little layer of about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, something like that. And then after that, I'm going to scape it with some rocks and start filling up with water. And then after that, we'll be ready to put in Norbert. Okay, now I'm just going to start taking scoops and just kind of filling it up, and then I'll spread it out with the, I'll just spread it out along the bottom and make it nice and even. Okay, now that it is all smoothed out along the bottom, I'm just going to add some of these rocks, and then kind of put those in there where I want them, just scaping them. Probably will do 1 or 2 bigger ones like this. And I just kind of want to recreate a riverbed. We'll probably do some smaller ones. Just drop them in there. Kind of there and there. And then I think probably this one or this one. I like this one. So we'll put this one just in that bottom corner right there. And then again, so this is a turtle. The water's probably going to be only about that high, maybe a little more. But it's not going to be all the way to the top. So it's going to look like that. And I do have a little algae bulge to help with some healthy bacteria and making sure that the filter is cycling nicely. So what I'm going to do now is just take buckets and fill it up. So we'll do that, and I will show y'all when it is all the way full. That's what it looks like fully filled up. And the water's a little murky. It's probably going to be a little bit brown for a few days just because the wood is going to release some tannins. But it looks so good, especially with these rocks. It just looks so much better than it did before. And now the water temp, I made sure it's good. We do have like pH and water treaters. So I did that. And I think we also ReptiSafe is in there. So it's all good. It's a little while later. I let it sit, and so the chemicals, or not chemicals, but so that stuff could kind of permeate through the water and make sure it's killing all the bad bacteria and raising or lowering the pH, whichever it needs to do. And I think it's ready to put in Norbert. Here is Norbert. He is a false map turtle, and they call them map turtles because of the pattern on them. It kind of looks on the head like a map, like a topographical map. So yeah, so we're just gonna put him in and watch him swim around for a little bit. Hope he likes it. Okay, he's just swimming around, and I think he's enjoying it. So this is about I believe it's a 20-gallon tall. Can't remember the exact dimensions, but it's about 20-ish gallons, which for him only being like that big, it's a pretty decent enclosure for him. And then I would put live plants in, but he will just destroy those, so it's really no reason to. And then fake plants, I don't want any of the plastic dyes to leach into the water or for him to think they're real and eat them, because that could cause issues as well. But he's just floating on top, chilling. And then I do have like a kind of one of these fake foam turtle docks for him, but there's a bunch of branches for him to lay on, so I don't think he would need it. So yeah, that's him. There's definitely some space for him to get some UVB and heat lighting. Thank you everybody for watching. I think that's the video. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, especially the background and the water element, which is a lot different than what I've done. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, comment what I should do next. I might film some more videos with some chelonians, which is turtles and tortoises. So if you share it if you learned something new. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.